Inflation at its very basic nature is a supply and demand issue. The definition of inflation happens when too many dollars are chasing too few goods. So, yes, we have supply chain issues because of the pandemic. We've had trouble, getting things on the supply side. But in my opinion, the worst, the factor that contributes more to this is that we have so much liquidity out there. Yes, the American people needed to have some relief from this thing called COVID that we didn't create. We were, caught off guard by. We were, sent home from our jobs, and the government should have done the stimulus or, the relief that it did. Did it go too far? Of course it did. Way more money was allocated than was actually spent. So we would be in a much, much worse condition right now with inflation if all of that money was injected into the economy that was provided for. But the fact of the matter is, and Biden's saying that he's, decreased the deficit. Okay, that's true. That's only because all of this COVID relief is winding down. So we went through a period of injecting a lot of money into the economy, into the American people because of the pandemic, and now those programs are ending. So it's not because he's fiscally responsible. That's what he wants us to think, that he actually cares about the amount of debt. No, I mean, his plans were to spend more money. And you constantly hear Biden and the administration and the Democrats saying how coming up with all of these programs that they want to spend more money. They want to forgive student loans, and they want to do Build Back Better under a different name, but thank God for Democrats like Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin who are helping to rein that back. So if he would have been able to inject even more money into this, already inflated money supply situation that we have, we would be experiencing way more inflation than what we're experiencing. So all of his, ideas, he's going to cap insulin, and he's going to, lower healthcare costs, and he's going to, we're going to save $500 a year. The average family is going to save $500 a year on our utility bills. All of that is just drops in the bucket to what he's going to have to do to actually make those things happen. So he's talking about spending billions, hundreds of billions, maybe even another $1 trillion on infrastructure, and this is somehow going to translate into the average American family saving $500 on their utility bill. The math just doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. I mean, we've seen money supply, triple, go up exponentially. And that's the basics of inflation. Too many dollars chasing too few goods. So yes, we've got some supply chain things that need to work its way out. And I think they're well on their way, to seeing that happen. But the Fed has to start reducing their balance sheet like they said they were going to do. Once that happens, all of this money has to have a place to land. I mean, if you just go back to the basics about inflation, you're going to see that the things that he's talking about really aren't going to do what he thinks that they're going to do.